for him to plead guilty is going something. It's something. I feel like we're going in the right direction.
Accepting responsibility.
That was Rovon Wells just minutes ago after one of the former Memphis police officers charged in the death of her son, Tyre Nichols, pleads guilty to 2 federal counts. Emmitt Martin, the third, is one of the 5 former officers accused of beating the 29-year-old father January of last year after they stopped him for what they say was reckless driving. We're glad you joined us tonight at 5, everybody. I'm Rudy Williams. Well, this afternoon, Martin officially pleaded guilty to 2 counts of a 4-count federal indictment. He's now the second of the 5 ex-MPD officers facing state and federal charges in connection to Tyre Nichols' death to change their pleas. ABC 24's Lauren Turman is outside of the courthouse with more details tonight. And Lauren, what is the recommended sentence for Emmitt Martin's plea?
Well, Rudy, prosecutors say they want a sentence of up to 40 years, which is a recommendation that the family of Tyre Nichols says they are satisfied with just a short time ago here. And Emmitt Martin pleaded guilty to counts 1 and 3 of the federal indictment. Count 1 charged Martin with using excessive force and failing to intervene in the unlawful assault. Count 3 charged Martin with conspiring to cover up his use of unlawful force by omitting material information and by providing false and misleading information to his supervisor and to others. Again, prosecutors recommend Martin be sentenced to up to 40 years. Ben Crump, who represents Tyre Nichols' family, weighed into this guilty plea a short while ago.
The dominoes are starting to fall. We expect the other officers to also do the same, because this is critical that we get justice and accountability.
An attorney representing Emmitt Martin said he was driven by anger on January 7, 2023, and tried to cover it up, but is accepting responsibility with this guilty plea. Now, Martin is scheduled for sentencing on Thursday, December 5th. Live from downtown Memphis, I'm Lauren Turman.
All right, Lauren, thanks a lot. Well, meantime, the Shelby County DA's office releasing a statement about the plea changes, saying in part, Martin is expected to enter a similar plea for the state case. Mulroy went on to say, in part, this marks another important step toward closure for the family of Tyre Nichols. While today's development is significant, there is still more work to be done. Well, this case has been long going. It's been extensive, spanning the past year and a half. Our Pepper Baker is here to break down that timeline of events. Pepper?
Yes, Rudy. Now, as he just said, this has been happening since the tragic incident on January 7th, 2023. So here is a look at how we got here. January 7th, 2023 was the night of the traffic stop where those 5 former MPD officers are accused of beating Tyre Nichols. 3 days later, Nichols died in the hospital. Now, the officers were fired on January 20th, and state charges for second-degree murder and kidnapping came shortly after. January 27th, that was a big night. The city released video of the brutal beating. Now, in March 2023, City Council did pass several police reform measures, including traffic stops for low-level offenses. On April 19th, Nichols' family filed a $550 million lawsuit against the city and MPD. Then on July 27th, the Department of Justice launched an investigation into MPD's patterns and practices. On September 9th of 2023, a grand jury indicted the ex-officers on federal charges. And then last November, ex-officer Desmond Mills pled guilty, the first one to do so, with a recommended sentence of 15 years. In January of 2024, this year, a judge forced the city of Memphis to release more than 20 additional hours of video documenting the traffic stop. Then in February, again, still this year, Memphis police released thousands of documents from the night Nichols was beaten. That leads us to today, when Emmitt Martin changed his plea to guilty, making him the second of the 5 charged ex-officers to do so. Rudy?
All right, Pepper, lots of details there and lots more to come. Thanks a lot. Well, for updates on this developing story and more, just download our free ABC 24 app. It's available on the App Store and Google Play, or you can just text the word app to 901-321-7520.